Is this mic okay like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I started acting late in life, so I have had a lot of catching up to do. I've never done Broadway, I've never done Shakespeare, and I'm still hoping one day to do a nude scene. My biggest dream has been to be a regular on a sitcom. There are only three things standing in my way. My looks, my age, and my lack of talent. But the heart wants what the heart wants. And what I have always wanted was to feel important. And I still do. I want George Clooney to invite me to his villa in Italy. I want Mindy Kaling to call me when she needs a laugh. I want the Dalai Lama to sign up for my storytelling class. In other words, what I want is for everyone I admire to admire me back. So, I began this career by doing all the usual manner of crap jobs. Children's theater, where one kid said, "Are you a puppet?" Free shows in nursing homes, where in the middle of a song, I heard somebody scream out, "Is this stuff going to be over soon? It's almost time for cake." One line on a soap opera, "The doctor will see you now." And worst of all, mind-numbing, brain-sucking days on the sweltering streets of New York City, working as a film extra. During those lean years, I did, however, accomplish one important thing. I wrote and rehearsed my Oscar, Emmy, and Tony Award prizes. I don't understand. When you watch those shows and these prize winners, often they get up and they thump around, they're at a total loss for words. I don't understand that. They've had their whole lives to prepare. Then we left New York, we came to LA, where the restaurants close at 9:30, and perky people say things like, "Have a good one." One what? And the bagels have blueberries. So my agent called one day with an audition for a couple of lines on a new show. A better-known actress at the agency had turned her down because she felt the part was too small for her. There is, in Hollywood, the general wisdom is that if you accept a job as a bit player, you're going to be in trouble because that's how people are going to see you for the rest of your career. The good news is there's an exception to every rule. The bad news is not in my particular case. But self-respect was not something I could afford, so I went in and did another paltry little insignificant role. Although in this case, the paltry insignificant role had unexpected repercussions because the show was Seinfeld. And my few lines turned into a recurring role, Doris Columbus down in the condo, Florida condo. Plus, they gave me a second role as an obnoxious airline passenger. Because obnoxious women, that's my specialty. So I started to get semi-regular work as a TV actress, and then but I wanted something more, so I decided I would like to perform my own work as a storyteller. Once again, this meant a steady diet of struggle and humiliation. One event was at a grungy barbecue joint deep in the bowels of the San Fernando Valley. And when we got there, I realized that everyone in the audience spoke English as a second language. The first language being Mongolian. Needless to say, my story about my son's Jewish wedding did not rock the house. Another time, the show was on the freezing front patio of a cafe in East Hollywood. Out front, there were traffic and sirens going by, very noisy, no mic. 6 tellers in the show, 4 people in the audience. And everybody else was under 25. So once again, my piece about my son's Jewish wedding did not rock the house. A much warmer reception was given to a guy whose story was a detailed exploration of his battle with genital herpes. And he did it in rhyming couplets. I got a great shock when I looked at my cock. God, please, let me die now. Let me die now. The only ray of light during those dark days was my husband. Benny came to every show, every gig, every performance, and his response was always the same. You were terrific, they loved you. Are you high? I got 0 laughs. You don't understand, that's because they were really listening. The man was delusional. But his faith in me strengthened my faith in me. So my goal as a storyteller was to appear one day on the Moth main stage. Every time I performed, I would send the Moth in New York a video, and I would have some chirpy little message with it. Hi, here's a new piece. Hope we work together soon. I did this several times a year, and I'm not exaggerating, for 9 years. And the response I got was silence, zilch, bupkis. And then one day, I gave up. I said to my husband, you know, Benny, I can't do this anymore. I can't put myself through the humiliation. I know I belong with the Moth. Obviously, they don't agree. I am not contacting them anymore. I'll just have to live with it. The very next day, I get a call from New York. Hi, Annie. This is Catherine at the Moth. Thanks for being so patient. Listen, we'd like you to perform with us on our main stage shows in LA, St. Louis, Berkeley, and the Schubert Theater in Boston. We'll also put you on, we want you on our radio show and on our website and probably on our next book. Oh, and the story we want is that wonderful piece, the one about your son's wedding. So, just like with the acting, I kept getting nowhere until one day I woke up and I was somewhere. So it seems that constant failure is a great learning up. One day I asked someone at Moth why it took them so long to book me, and she thought, oh, well, you got better. So now, in my third act, I have embraced a whole new and totally unexpected career. Just before the pandemic hit, I was asked to lead a storytelling event at a home for people who were almost homeless, mentally challenged. I really, really did not want to do it. But I knew that if I didn't do it, I would feel so guilty that I'd force myself to do the moral thing and participate. Now, I don't generally believe in karma, but I have to tell you something. My decision to do the right thing changed my life because I struck up a friendship with one of the other volunteers. Enter Mackenzie. Mackenzie is 30, tall, thin, model, drop-dead gorgeous, and from a church-going family. Whereas I am, whatever. One day, I was telling Mackenzie about how I'd really like to find a larger audience for my work, and so I was thinking maybe I should post some little clips on Instagram if I could figure out how to do that. And she said, oh, Annie, Instagram is so done. That's a young people's word. You should be on TikTok. Me? TikTok? Are you kidding? That's for gorgeous young girls, shaking their booties, putting on makeup. Trust me, Annie, you would blow up on TikTok. So Mackenzie volunteered to film the clips and edit them and post them, and that was an offer I could not refuse since I can barely take a selfie. And so it began. I've always been told all my life that two things that are really wrong with me are, one, I talk too much. Two, I'm too opinionated. On TikTok, I was given permission to A, talk as much as I want, B, opinionate as much as I want. I was given permission to be me without apologizing. And much to my astonishment, people started listening. All kinds of people, large numbers of people from all over the world. The LA Times called. CBS Evening News called, Inside Edition called, Dr. Phil called. But the best thing happened just last week. I was rehearsing my usual 4 lines on a movie when the director, Paul Weitz, took me aside. Now, Paul Weitz directed one of my favorite films. He co-wrote and co-directed one of my favorite films about a boy. So I'm a really big fan, major fan. And he took me aside, and I knew what he was going to say because every job I have, every director says the same thing to me. Annie, you're doing real well, great timing. Next take it down a little bit. But that's not what he said. He said, Annie, I have to tell you how much I love your story about your grandson on TikTok. And I thought, oh my God, my dream has come true. I am getting admiration from someone I admire. And it's only taken 83 years. I'm sorry. I just realized I have to go because the Dalai Lama is